Hey guys, Thursday night, great climbing session tonight. I climbed with a new guy, works for my company. He's down visiting from Illinois. He normally climbs V5, V6, he said. Pretty cool dude. But it gave me a little bit of perspective on the climbs in my gym. I was able to challenge myself a little bit better. All in all, just like a really good night. Climbing with a couple friends. Him being new to me, at least this week, really connected. So I think it was a pretty dope experience. Gave me a couple tips, gave me a little bit more confidence in general, considering I've only been climbing for a couple months. But like really, it was a great experience. So good night all in. Like went to a local place here it's one of my favorite places to go afterwards. So had a chill time. Then I spent some time thinking today, just thinking all the time. If I don't keep my mind active thinking, then the anxiety will take over. And that's kind of something, in a sense, I'll kind of touch on that as a portion of this conversation, I think. But really the topic is disappointment and the expectations I think that we place on situations involving other people. Or maybe a better way to put it is, I don't think we just accept like what we might get versus we get really disappointed. I'm speaking personally. I get really disappointed because I expect certain things from people. I expect that I understand people well enough to know what I'm going to get in various situations. And when I don't, then it can be disappointing or frustrating. And I think that this is really unfair, mostly to myself, but also to other people. Really, it's just about meeting people where they are. And so one of the biggest things I'm gonna be working on is to not lose my empathy in situations or an awareness of how the situation might be received, but mostly just taking it as it comes. Piece of advice that I usually give to people, that I've given to several people, is that I lost it for a second. I'm sure it'll come back. Like, really, ultimately, it's in that, right? It's understanding that, here it is. Whatever outcome of a situation you get is information for you to then make decisions, right? Whatever interaction you want, or whatever outcome you get, or whatever interaction you want, whatever outcome you really want to have happen might not happen. But ultimately, whatever outcome does happen gives you the information to make decisions for yourself. I've given this as professional advice a bunch of times where people are nervous to ask for a raise or have a difficult conversation with their boss, ask really for more or changes or differences. And ultimately, you might not get the answer you're looking for, right? But the answer that you do get is then a data point in which you can make decisions on. And I think that that's really applicable in more scenarios. And this really feels like one of those situations in that I know someone that would definitely say, physician, heal thyself, I think is said, in which like you fail to diagnose your own problems or you fail to take your own advice, right? It's great advice to give. I think it's very important, but utilizing that advice has been a challenge for me. I think that it's imperative to understand that whatever outcomes you get, maybe it's not so much about getting disappointed or frustrated or emotional or wherever possible. I think you have to feel your feelings and process them and get through them. But like, you're in control of your reactions, like despite of how you might feel. Your feelings don't have to dictate your behaviors. And it's the biggest thing that I think that I'm exercising regularly in every daily workout, in every daily challenge, is that in every daily commitment I make, these vlogs have been daily, I've been writing daily, I do a workout daily. Just in general, all these daily commitments that I've made, they can be done and I could do them despite a lot of factors that come in. My emotions, how I feel at a given time, if I'm tired, if it was a long day, if it was a challenging day, frustrating day, any number of things that you can come up with, right? I took a note in my journal today that was, I think, a general assessment of a lot of people that I know relative to actions that they want to take, or actions that they know they should take and they just don't take them. They excuse themselves from it regularly, myself included. Like, primarily myself is who I would say I focus on from a very self-centered perspective. Is it's an improvement that I want to make right now, is that there's things that I know I should do relative to the goals that I have, and I haven't done them. Like, well, working out great is daily is great. And my nutrition's a lot better on point. Like, I've been able to shave a lot of what I wanted to from a cut perspective. So great jump start in a very short period of time, 2-3 weeks. Jump started aggressively. It's been fantastic. So I probably shoot for a target that I wasn't sure I was going to shoot for. It's just really get a little bit leaner, and it's been fantastic. I don't feel bad about it at all. I cut out alcohol. I think twofold, like that is, last year I cut out alcohol for 7 months, and it was the best I ever felt. I'm starting to feel that way again. Like, I just think it's a better version of me. I think journaling daily and writing daily is a big deal with that. This is helpful in both senses. In both cases, I think it's just an element of increasing my ability to articulate, and that articulation is really distilling the things that are bouncing around my head all the time. So anxiety's a lot better, and my thought processes are just clearer, sharper, a lot sharper. So it allows things to come out a lot better. A little bit of a tangent there, I think. I really want to focus in on just the aspect of understanding that the outcomes that we get, I think it could be very beneficial to not place a lot of expectation on them, other than the expectation that given the outcome, you will have another data point in which you can make decisions, in which you get to dictate which direction you want to take your life and your choices. And I think this applies in a bunch of scenarios. So I think the advice I'd given to several people, I'm now giving to myself. And I'm going to write it until I understand it. Because sometimes things just don't go the way you want them to. I think it happens all the time, right? And living in a state of disappointment or a state of negativity, whatever that negativity might be, is just not going to be very productive. My intention is to make the most of every minute I have in pretty much the direction I want to go towards my purpose. Let's say 90%. I'm just trying to incorporate some leisure time, just not a ton of it. Like, my leisure or my entertainment is the pursuit of my purpose. So every outcome is a data point for you to make decisions, good or bad. Love it or hate it. It's beneficial and helps drive your life towards, or you're able to make decisions that drive your life towards where you want to be. So, happy Thursday. Have a great night.